Run Junkies, it's been a long week around here, but it's not because of the training. My son was home for 2.5 days with the stomach flu, and while I love the show Phineas and Ferb, I can tell you that I've kind of had enough of it for a while. We went through all 4 seasons at least once. While he is feeling better and the bug hasn't quite hit me yet, I'm sure it's only a matter of time, but we'll see if I actually dodge a bullet. Training-wise this week, it was light on mileage, but heavy on workload, and thankfully so. I had uphill drills, I had speed work, I had strides, and it was a lot of actual work, but not a lot of mileage. I think I maybe did 15 miles total this week. But all of that was helping me recover a little bit and prep for Saturday's 5K test. Now, this was just something that Coach Christine put in my training plan to see how far I've progressed in my speed work. So I signed up for this Rocky Mountain Brew Pub run, which was kind of funny. It wasn't a timed race, it was an open course, very small field, maybe 300 runners, but it was a lot of fun. Now, Coach Christine had me start out what she called easy at a 10:30 mile. Now, my runs have been averaging 13:30, so I thought that was a pretty aggressive goal, but once I got to the start line and started running, it actually felt great. So I was able to maintain that pace or less for the entire 5K. And I definitely felt strong during this race. I set 2 personal goals from the last year. So it was my fastest mile at 9:47 and my fastest 5K at 31:11. For me, in the last year, that is a huge relief because I do feel like I've started to gain some speed back, and I'm looking forward to having the conversation with my coach when she gets back from Mexico. Now, I'm very happy with how this race went, but the funny thing is that as I crossed the finish line, I had only hit 3 miles, so I just kept on running. So now that that 5K is over and that benchmark is set, Coach Christine and I can start looking toward the Boulder Boulder, which is 11 or 12 weeks from now. My hope is to take this speed and drive it all the way through 6.2 miles and really get that personal best at Boulder Boulder. I'm starting to look at summer race schedules because those are starting to hit a little bit more, and I'm trying to make a decision on a 13.1 or a 10 miler as a proof of time for the Dopey Challenge. And recently someone reminded me of the Slacker Half Marathon here in Colorado. This is a race that is all downhill. It starts at Loveland Ski Area at 10,000 feet and it comes all the way downhill to Georgetown at about 8,000 feet. There are a couple of reasons why this race has appealed to me and I've wanted to do this race for a while. The first reason, it's called Slacker, and I want the t-shirt that says Slacker on it. I really do. I also think there's some appeal in a downhill race for a faster proof of time. However, I've never done a full downhill race. I've done a trail race or 2 where there's a lot of elevation loss and gain, but never something that is completely downhill. Downhill sections are murder on your quads, and I asked my coach about it and she said she has no problem with me running in this race. However, it would shift our focus from speed training to strength training. I'm not sure exactly that I want to do that yet, so Slacker is still, I'm kind of on the fence about that one. As a result of this race being completely downhill, I'm a little concerned about how much recovery time it's going to take afterward. I remember after the Happy Girls half marathon, it took 4 or 5 days for my legs to completely recover. Another challenge to this race is altitude. Now, I do live at a mile high, but going up to 10,000 feet and dropping down to 8,000 feet, you're still depriving your system of oxygen. And if I'm actually looking for a solid effort, that might be compromised by the altitude. I don't know. I do have a few other options for a local Dopey proof of time, and I really just need to sit down and look at those options and decide what's going to be the best race, what's the best field, and how much of an effort can I put into that particular race. I'm not ruling out the Slacker Half Marathon yet, but I'm still very much on the fence about it. So coming up on next week's update, did I dodge the stomach flu bullet? Also coming up next week, we are looking at the Boulder Boulder 10K, and that is now in my sights. So we're gonna set some goals for times and just to see how fast I can get that one done. So here's my question for you today. Have you ever done a downhill race? And if so, what did you think? Please leave your comments in the box below. Give me that thumbs up if you like this video. Before I go today, I'm gonna leave you with some highlights from yesterday's 5K, but get out there, go find your awesome. We'll see you next time. And until then, happy running. Short, I gotta keep going. I'm not there yet, it's not very far.